Let's see. I think this is recording now. Is it? Did I clip the audio? Let me see. Sorry if anybody happens to be there. Let's see. I'm trying to see if this has started yet. Yeah, it's not showing up. Let's see here. So it says we're live. Welcome to YouTube Hangout. Watch, this is going to post on YouTube and it's just going to be me looking at the screen the whole time trying to figure out how this works. Unmuted. Okay. Let's see here. How do I? Oh. Watch, this is going to post on YouTube and it's just going to be me looking at the screen the whole time. Okay. So it is works. It is working. I imagine I can pause myself back here. So there's a little bit of a delay. Now the real question is, how do I get back to the other view? Is there anybody? Let's copy this. This is going to post on YouTube. It's just going to be me. Okay, so it is. It is working. I imagine I can pause myself back here. So there's a little bit of a delay. Now the real question is, how do I get back to the other view? Is there anybody? Okay. Oh wait, the one viewer is me. Okay, just trying to figure this out. Okay, so it is working. There's a little bit of a delay. The question is, how? Okay. Nope. Nope. Wish I knew how this works. I wish I knew if anybody was watching this. So I'm unmuted now. So I know that someone's there, but how do I comment? So sorry, this is probably like the most boring hangout ever in history. So I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, so there's 3 people watching right now. What's up, dudes? I'm still trying to figure out how to do all this stuff. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. It's all coming to me now. How do I Okay, wait a second. I think I got you guys now. Is the stream still working? Awesome. Okay. So this is kind of working. I think I'm totally doing it wrong, but what up, David? What up, my brother? So we're gonna try to get some guitar audio in here. Okay, now it's coming through on my phone. So let's just see how it goes. You guys get to see me in my sweet shorts that you guys have seen in so many videos. Oh, and I'm using these. Anybody on my Facebook page probably saw these. I'm not sure how well that's coming up on there. Where am I at? Here I am. They're called Dragonheart picks. So the guy sent me some to try to see if I like them. And they're super, super cool. They're kind of like 3 picks in one. You get like your real sharp, aggressive side. This is more like a gypsy, almost like button. And then your typical kind of normal pick. So we'll see how the audio handles this. Is it pretty good? It doesn't look like it's clipping. Or does it just sound like I'm recording with a potato? That's the real question. Okay, let's put that pick down. There we go. Okay, so can you guys still hear and see me? Yep, yep. Yeah, I figured the audio would be a little bit crappy when the guitar comes in, just because it's just straight through the MacBook's camera, so it's probably not the best. I'll have to see. I'm not sure how you mic up something like this, so we'll have to see. Maybe I want to do some more of these live events here pretty soon. So I know I didn't really like schedule this one, so no one knew about it, but that's because I don't know what I'm doing. So let's see. Okay. Right now I'm flipping between both screens, so let me turn all of this stuff off. Okay. Awesome. I think is there like a spot on my face? So cool. But since it's you and David, I don't know if David's still there or not, but you guys can get the real exclusive. So we're getting ready to do the 10,000 subscriber giveaway, and we have all the prizes picked out. Why is this doing this? It's driving me crazy. Anyways, so I haven't really announced any of the prizes yet, but to all the people who are watching, you guys can be the first to know what the prizes are. And I'm not going to really announce them until much later on. So I don't have some of the stuff, but this is one of them. So first off, I should say is Positive Grid is giving away all kinds of stuff. So every day of the week, they're giving away like their promo codes and the plugins for the apps. So that was really cool. I was excited when they said they would do that. Here's one of the prizes. I just got this one to demo. They're sending me another one, which just pedal sounds awesome. I actually think it sounds better than the Plexitone that I demoed a while back. So this would be a really cool prize for someone to win. I don't really know the order that any of this stuff is gonna go in yet. So that's one of them. And I don't know, should I say the grand prize? Oh snap, we got 3 people in here now. So that's one. Seymour Duncan's sending me something that I haven't actually, I've never even played it before. They haven't even released it yet. I'll actually be one of the first people to get it. And then it's going to be, I'm going to do a video and I'm going to give it away. But that is, it's their new, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it or not, but it's their new tremolo pedal. So that'll be really sweet. And what else? That was Carl Martin. I'm getting a bunch of strings from Cleartone to give away. And then Metronome gave me something that I clearly don't have. Where's that at? What did I do with that? Sorry, if you could see the full room, it's like completely destroyed in here. Figure everybody will like leave the hangout instantly. It's going to be so boring. I don't know what I did with it. I lost it. Anyways, it's one of the little micro terrors by Orange. And then, what else is there? I feel like I'm forgetting something. But anyways, this is going to be the grand prize. And I'll wait to make sure that if anybody's out there before I announce the grand prize. So are you guys still there? Let's see. Oh, I think I hit mute. Let me see. Okay, I think it's unmuted now. I think I might have hit mute there for a second. Let me try to hit something again. Oh, I think I hit mute. Okay, I was trying to see where I left off at. Dan Guitar 88. What is this about? It's about nothing, actually. I'm just testing out to see if the live stream is working. I've never done one of these before, so it's mainly just for you guys to sit there and stare at me as I have no clue what I'm doing. But I was just, I don't know if you must have just tuned in, but I'm actually saying the prizes that are going to be in the 10,000 subscriber giveaway next month. So I'll recap real quick. So we're giving away a bunch of pedals, strings, stuff like that. Now the grand prizes, there's going to be 2 of them, and these are just from us, me and Gabby, that we went out and got. So the one is going to be an iPad, which I don't have yet, an iPad mini, like we did last year. And then the grand kind of finale surprise, I just got done talking to the guy who designed these here guitars. Well, I talked to him earlier today. Is this. So it's a Chapman ML1 Antique Burst. This is the other one that we got whenever we bought all the Chapman guitars. And this one has also just kind of sat here. Gabby really likes the Rabia. I really like the Hot Rod. My rule of thumb is if it doesn't play, it doesn't stay. So So this one is going to be the kind of like the grand surprise, which is really cool. It has this these swirls in it. That makes it so it's not just like every other one that's out there, and the tops are all different on them. But it's such a pretty guitar. And when I look at it, I'm like, I don't want to get rid of it. But then, you know, I'm like, but I really like to play the hot rod. So yeah. So this is the grand surprise. The grand prize. What do you guys think? Yay, nay? Is that a good one? Thought it was pretty cool. You know, we want to keep probably going to do this every year. This is the second year that we've done this kind of like big week-long giveaway. So it's going to be a full week. That all you have to do is probably like some pages and subscribe to my YouTube channel, which if you're watching this, you're probably already subscribed. So you're ahead of the game. Let me put that down before I damage it. So yeah, so that's pretty much what we have going on there. Like, I really don't have anything planned for the live show right now at all, other than nonsense and probably playing some guitar. So maybe I'll just do that. I don't have anything to say. I'm just kind of blabbing about nonsense. So, okay, heard everything so far. Just give me a please. Here, I'll just hand it. Just take this one. Just take it through the screen. So, I thought that was a pretty cool prize, you know, to get. I was just talking to Chappers earlier today. So it's a great guitar, you know. There's nothing wrong with them. When I sold the other one, and then we're giving this one away, and people were kind of asking me why I didn't like them. And it's nothing to do with not liking them. It's not like the guitars aren't great or any of that stuff. It's just I kind of connected with this one right away. It just felt more natural, and that one just didn't for some reason. It sat a little bit darker in the mix when I was recording, and I kind of like brighter guitars. And you know, that one just didn't click with me like the hot rod did. So this one I play all the time. More of that grainy guitar audio for you. So yeah, look, we got 6 people watching now. What is up, homies? All 6 of you guys. If you can, post a comment in the comment section to the right. I'm trying to figure out how this whole thing works. But yeah, and sorry if you guys missed the great unveiling of all of the giveaway prizes that starts in November. You were too late. Now I'll probably recap them here at the end. Let me see. Me. Hide from background. Present. Says I'm presenting to everyone. I'm not real sure what that means. I don't know. But yeah, let's see here. So if you are here, say hello. And is the guitar audio like, is it bearable, or is it just like way too crappy to have as a live? Okay. So, yeah, I think that's going to be probably it. Just like I said, I just wanted to test this out. To anybody who's watching or who was watching, I have no clue what I'm doing still. I have some riffs I want to show you, and I'm waiting on the rest of the and. Let's see. Yeah, man. I'm always down for Skyping with people. The biggest issue is always time. Like right now, I just had a few minutes before I have to start making some videos for, and it's a bearable kind. No, what is it? It's bearable. Oh, I got you. All these comments are just now coming in. When practicing technique, do you prefer just routine until it's flawless, kind of like Tom Quayle's practice sessions or Gambale's chop builder? Or do you pick just one exercise and do that? I kind of just do like one exercise. And sorry, like I said, I think I'm doing this wrong because I'm have 2 pages up, one on YouTube, and then one on the other one. As far as practicing stuff, I just kind of just pick one and really just play it a ton until I get comfortable with it. One exercise that I just came up with for myself because I was trying to break out of the pentatonic boxes a little bit better is this one, which it's all pentatonic. You can tell I don't have a clean at all. But the picking is what, my main focus was because it's kind of like a economy picking. So I've been practicing that. I'm still not very good at it, but I kind of just pick one thing and I practice it a bunch at various tempos. My thing was always I have to play the full lick 4 times in a row before I'll raise the tempo at all. So once I play through it 4 times flawless at whatever the tempo might be, then I will move on to the next one and kind of see how that goes. So that's how I kind of approach practicing. Really don't bounce around too much. I try to focus on one thing at a time. Audio. Yeah, sorry, the comments are kind of coming in slow. Like I said, it says I'm presenting to everyone. Don't know what that means. But it's happening. I know that much. I'm presenting. What does it mean? Does anybody else on here have any experience with a live hangout? Okay. If anybody has any last questions or something, I'll leave them in the comments and I'll look and wait on them to pop up. But I'm probably just going to end this here in just a second, just so I can probably mess around with it some more. Let's see here. Well, apparently I can draw if I want to. Not sure why that's helpful at all. Add apps. Chat. No. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the hangout. I'll end on a shred lick. And that'll be it. Like I said, we're going to actually schedule one of these soon. That way more people know about it. And it's not just so spur, like kind of last minute-y. Let me check something real quick over here. I have a new email. Oops. Okay. Blue Deluxe, a comment. Cool. Well, let's see. Hey, Robert, can you get into more on how you write songs? Sure. I think I just read your comment earlier today, Mark. It got quite a few likes, so I'm definitely gonna do like a little video series about that. As far as writing songs, I definitely don't apply much theory knowledge to it. I really just kind of like wing it. I did that video where I was just kind of like fumbling around making up riffs, and I just kind of like feel out kind of what's happening, I guess, is a good way to kind of do it, because I had that very basic riff. I guess I'll play you guys a new riff, so hopefully the audio isn't too bad so you guys can hear the whole riff. But this is a new one for a pedal that I'm working on, and it's pretty complicated. I wanted something to challenge myself to write, and I just kind of mess around with ideas, and usually they kind of come to me on their own. So here is the new riff, and you guys can let me know if you like it, hate it, love it, hopefully like it. Oh, messed up. So that's kind of what I have so far, and a lot of it just came from, you know, I think I played this, something like that. I was probably just doing the typical stuff I always do. Clear. I have cleared a spot in my barn for that hot rod. Sorry, dude. Actually, if you missed it, man. Hey, I'm going to say, can you turn it down? Oh, I'm being shushed by the wife. Turn it down some. Yeah. I think we need better soundproofing in here. But let me text her back real quick. But yeah, sorry, bro. Can't get the hot rod, dude. But let me. My Facebook friend, something just joined Instagram. It's funny. Someone was asking me why I don't reply to text messages and all that stuff today. And the reason is because I get so many of them on my phone. Like if you look at my phone, I still have 31 unread text messages that I need to go through. And it's because I look at my phone and I read it, and I just set my phone down, and then I have like a million text messages to go through. So let me text her back real quick. Okay. So yeah, sorry, bro, not getting the hot rod, dude. And does anybody else see this little black dot that's like floating around on the screen? It's like following me over here. So I don't know if it means something, but hey, Robert, do you have favorite scales or modes? Yeah, I do. What's your approach to practicing rhythm guitar? I think I need to practice speaking more than anything else. Time for a new wife. As far as, I'll go through the list of all of those. As far as favorite scales, yeah, I definitely have some favorite scales. I really like the Mixolydian scale a lot. I just love the way it sounds. It's very like spacey. That one, definitely like pentatonic. What kind of rock guy doesn't like pentatonics? But one thing that I like to do with pentatonics is, and all my students definitely know this, is I like to try to make it not sound like a pentatonic scale. So that's always like a nice little challenge is, can you make a scale not sound like, you know, a scale anymore or itself? So that's one of the biggest things that I teach, you know, to all of my students. So let me try to bring this up here real quick. Is it working? Okay. And I'm sure, Mike, I've probably told you that a whole bunch. Mike's one of my students. Fart I Kilt Noobs is his name. I laugh every single time I read that. But he's one of my Skype students, one of the only 2 Tuesday people that I have. So what is my approach to, so those are some of my favorite scales. You know, and I love all the stuff like the harmonic minors. I just don't tend to use them so much, to be honest. You know, and I love kind of like the more exotic ones, like Hungarian minor. It just kind of, blacked out seems to be tracking your head. But it's just kind of one of those things that, you know, it just depends how much I use the scale, to be honest. It's just, I don't write a lot of like heavy stuff anymore. But all people don't know is when I started out, I was in a rock band, but I was also in like this real hardcore band, like super like tuned down to B and breakdowns every 2 seconds. But what they wanted me, and I think it's probably why I don't do sweep picking stuff very often, but that's what they wanted, like in every song, like this song really needs a sweep, so I'd have to come up with like, you know, some ridiculous sweeping arpeggio. And then once I was out of that band, I just kind of quit practicing sweep picking. But that band was always like harmonic minor, Hungarian minor, Phrygian dominant, all that stuff. So I think when I got out of that band after a few years, I just kind of like gravitated more to like my 80s, kind of like rock funk stuff. And that's just where I kind of landed, and I'm living it and loving it. So as far as practicing rhythm, it's not really anything that I practice, to be honest. I think I just listen to a lot of rhythmic players, like Eddie Van Halen, obviously being one of my biggest influences of all. He's extremely rhythmic, extremely melodic. When he's playing, you listen to his riffs. Always a groove. I mean, everything. I mean, just always a groove there. Even like on Mean Street, definitely has more like you know, heavy album, or I'm sorry, Fair Warning. The fact that he could be so heavy and but yet be so like melodic and rhythmic was so cool to me. And then definitely came along players to me like Jimmy Page. I listened to Eddie before I listened to Jimmy Page. I want to be in a chick band someday. LIC. Would it be like an LA Guns tribute band, Mike? That's the real question. So yeah, I think I just listened to a lot of like very rhythmic players, and it's no secret I listened to a lot of funk players growing up too. And that comes from my mom always listening to funk music. So, you know, all like Wild Cherry, Temptations, Tramps, all those real good funk bands, you know, just listening to them. It's that typical Hendrix chord, just moving around using like sevens. And even like one of my favorite ones is Roller Coaster of Love. And I think if David's still there, this was one of the things that you asked me about, man, that the real quick little funky scratch all of a sudden. And it was something I didn't even realize that I was doing. But it's just from funk music, to be honest. Like Nuno Betancourt, one of my hugest, most giant, you know, influences. Sometimes his riffs are tougher than his solos. So that's where a lot of the rhythmic side of what I play, because I always want my rhythms to be just as interesting as the solos. You know, because in the new song, the drop top for the Seymour Duncan video, I don't know if any of you guys saw that one or not, but the first riff was this one. Of course, it was on a Strat. Sorry. And then the riff behind it was this. What was it? No, I can remember it. There it is. But instead of just kind of doing that, I went like this. Ever heard of Neil Zaza? Oh yeah, Neil Zaza is phenomenal. So but back to the rhythm thing, my riff went like this. Sorry. See, just adding a little bit of flavor to it really makes it a lot more interesting, and you can kind of, you know, incorporate more lead lines around that, and that's what I kind of did. And I like to, when I write stuff, it's very, if the riff is very complicated, my lead tends to be simple. I don't like to kind of overstimulate our ears when we're listening to something. Tate, what up, man? What is up, dude? Tate Richardson in the house. So what is up? I'm sorry, I'm thinking I'm falling. Now I'm like falling behind in the comments. What's your approach to practicing rhythm? Black dot. Okay, so I'm not. 80s hairspray tunes. No, seriously. Favorite 80 tunes? Man, name anything from Rat or Dawkins. Whatever. Okay, I already answered. Yeah, so Neil Zaza it's phenomenal. I don't know any of his stuff, but I had a friend show me him a long time, way back. I remember he came and asked me, he's like, you gotta check out this guy, Neil Zaza. So he was just like, I'm like, oh, dude, I absolutely love him. And I kind of showed him Richie Kotzen. And we were like there was only 3 guys who played guitar when I went to school. And then it was just me, my buddy Nick, and Corey Shepard, which I think Corey's in jail now. so he, I don't know if he still plays guitar or not, but Nick is actually in a pretty successful band. I think they're touring right now, and he's playing bass for them. So that was really exciting to hear. And it's one of the things I always get asked is why I don't play in bands. And I played in bands for a very long time. And it wasn't until I kind of got out of the band scene and really worked on becoming a better player, like learning more theory and stuff like that, that I got asked to start teaching at Metronome. I started doing the YouTube thing, and just a lot of other stuff. I just liked having kind of full, maybe I'm being a jerk, but I wanted like full creative content. Like if I want to make, you know, a jazz song, wasn't very jazzy, but I can do that, you know, and I really love having that freedom. And I've been thinking more about getting back into a band, but it's definitely not on the horizon anytime soon. Let's see, bro, if you like Eddie, you gotta like Vito Bratta. Oh, of course, so melodic. What is it? I gotta remember it. I can't remember it. How's that go? Someone remind me how to play Wait. It's just the same chord moved down. Something like that. I can't remember anymore, but that solo is so crazy. Something like that. Worst gig story. It was back when I was in that hardcore band I was talking about a little bit ago, and I was like super, super sick. I think that my temperature was like 101 or 102 or something like that, but I was just like super sick. But we got a show opening up for, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of them. They're called For Today. They're like a Christian hardcore band, but you know, it's obviously a very big band, and they were kind of like in the middle stages. They weren't super big yet, so we were opening for them, and they were just one of my favorite bands at the time. So I had to play the show. And I just remember like playing the show, and I don't even remember honestly playing. And I have pictures from my Facebook page somewhere. But as we played the show, I was so sick. I don't remember it. Everybody's like, "Oh, that sounded so good," and I'm like, "I don't remember. I don't even know what I sounded like." I remember I just like walked off the stage, left my gear on the stage. I was like, "Can someone please just take my stuff home with them?" And That's back whenever me and my wife were still just dating, and she like drove me home. And I remember I just got out of the car and just like crawled into the living room and just like laid down on the living room floor and like fell asleep and was like sick for like an extra week. So probably the worst gig story. There's been other gigs where you deal with like terrible sound guys. Places don't want to pay you. That was a big reason why I kind of got out of it. I was like, you know, it's not supposed to be about the money, but at the same time, you have to survive. And for some reason, people don't like to pay musicians, or they want to pay us in like, you know, alcohol or something, which is cool and all. But you know, I don't drink, so you know, I would get paid in like Mountain Dew, and I'm like, this isn't what I want. I didn't, you know, drive halfway across Ohio to get paid at Mountain Dew, so. You know, that's probably, you know, there's lots of bad stuff in the beginning of bands. Mark says, bro, what's your favorite guitar and pickup? Favorite guitar always changes. To be honest, right now, my favorite guitar is not this one, although I do love this guitar a lot. It is this one. I've been playing this so much lately, just kind of falling back in love with a good old Strat. So this is a 2006. Yeah, because mine was an 03. This is a 2006 Fender VG, which they don't make anymore. And if you guys are familiar with what a VG is, and I'm sorry, I'll answer the pickup question. I'm just rambling here in just a second. We have these 2 extra knobs. Let me make sure that you guys can see this. Ugh, as I scoot closer. We have these 2 extra knobs here. And what they're for is this one changes because it has a Roland pickup in it. And I don't think they make these anymore either. But you have neutral, which is nothing. Now, if I turn it once, it tunes the guitar to drop D without me actually tuning anything. If I turn it again, it tunes it to open G. So if I want to do some like slide stuff, I can tune it again, which is going to go to open D. Again, I could do slide stuff if I wanted to. If I turn this one again, it turns it to a baritone tuning. So I think it tunes everything down 2 steps. And then if I flip it again, it gives it a 12-string kind of sound. So we have this other knob here, which it kind of configures it, the pickups. So we have your neutral, S for Strat. I'm not sure why neutral just sounds like a Strat. S just sounds like a Strat. T is supposed to make it sound like a Tele, which does a pretty good job. H turns it to humbucker mode, and A is acoustic. So you can have like an acoustic 12-string if you want. And to be totally honest, man, they sound pretty legit. I don't have a battery. It takes batteries. That's the bad thing. It takes like 8 AA batteries or something. So, and I usually I'm just lazy, so I only use it as an actual Strat. But you know, if I wanted to, I could do all kinds of stuff with it. Okay, finally got that off the screen. Jesus. Okay, so let's see. Always about the Benjamins. Yeah, and you know, and that's the thing that because that was earlier on when I was playing, so obviously I needed money to live, and that's why I was just talking to someone about, you know, kind of creating a more, I guess, like live band that it's strictly for fun. Like I don't really care about the money side of it. I just want us to practice. I don't want any kind of like expectations of touring. Just literally like we get together, we jam for you know, once a week, and then we go out and play some shows or something. Just 100% for fun. Like I just want to do like 80s tribute band or something. I'll perm my hair out real nice and big, or it's just something like ridiculous that's, you know, really fun. So it's just kind of about finding the right musicians to do that with, who don't want to, you know, get in their mind that we're going to go do a tour. Just I really just have too many responsibilities here. You know, with teaching, because now obviously I teach at a store, but I also teach at a school, and then I teach Skype. So, you know, a week off for me is very different from a person who takes a week of vacation, because I don't get vacation time. You know, I just have to lose money that whole time. So vacation's a little bit different for me. That's why I don't get any. So let's see. Like a Digitech drop D pedal built in. Yeah, kind of like that. Honestly. But yeah, it just kind of built into the guitar. I've never used a drop pedal. I know Metronome just got a bunch of those in, so I'll have to test those out sometime. But yeah, it's basically what it is. You can drop tune it. The only part that's a little bit tricky about this, and it'd be the same thing about the pedal, is if you can hear your own guitar strings. What I mean is, like, if it's drop tuned and your amp is quiet, kind of like a bedroom level, and you still can hear your own strings, it really messes with your ears because you're hearing drop D out of the amp, but you're hearing E, or especially if I flip it to baritone or something like that. But yeah, I got so off topic. This is the guitar I like a lot lately. As far as pickups, I've really been liking the full shred. It's a little bit hotter than what I'm used to, so I think that's why I like it. Just something different. I really wanted to change, everything about my guitar gear. That's why I switched guitars that I was using and different picks, all that stuff. So where's that other pick? There it is. Yeah, you will like it. Yeah. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to sit down and try the pedal yet, the drop pedal, but it seems really cool. I know that this one it sounds really good, but there's just still like a little hint of it. You can tell it's not the real thing. You're not actually tuned that low. So I'm curious to see how the drop pedal does it. But what's cool about that is you get to keep your string tension. I hate when the strings are so like flubby. They're just like flopping all over the guitar neck. And I use 9-gauge strings, so it's a little bit weirder. But yeah, this is just, I've been playing this guitar to death lately. I think it's because it's just maple neck, all of my favorites all in one. Any favorite YouTube guitar player influences from Mark? Yeah, definitely. Rick Graham. I talk about him all the time. I have multiple things from him. One of the things I just learned from him, it's in his Guitar Arpeggio Gym, is this little run. So that's kind of a cool one. She does it like a million times faster. Nope, I can't do it. So he does that one. And other favorite ones are like, a lot of them I'm friends with, to be honest, like Jack Gardner, Tony Martinez, Tom Quayle. I don't know Tom Quayle personally, but people like that, Leonardo Guzman, they're just people I chat with and talk to all the time. So it's kind of cool. They're like both my friends, but also people who really inspired me to pick up the guitar. There's one guy, I can never remember his name. I don't know how to say it. He's from kind of like the Middle East, but yeah, he's like crazy good. He has a crazy name too. Let's see. Hypothetically, if you were to change out the pickups on your wife's MO1 with Duncan's, which one would you use? I would probably... I really want to try the Warren D. Martini signature, the Rat, is it called the Rat Pack? I can't remember what it's called. That, and then probably maybe like a little 59 in the neck or something, kind of like a mini bucker. I don't know the middle one. I have to figure out a middle pickup. So, but Mike, I don't know if you were here earlier, but anybody who's watching now, you guys can, the MO1 is one of the grand prizes for the giveaway. To win a new guitar, you could have 2 MO1s. Okay, so here's one. You mentioned Rick Graham lessons in the past video. Did you try his legato lesson? I have not tried that yet. I haven't tried his legato lessons. That's the next one. He has so many lesson packages, to be honest, to buy. I just bought, Pete Thorne did one not too long ago. With Jam Track Central, I bought 2 of those. The Groomed Noodler. I just had a chance to look at it. Actually, I bought the one like a month ago, and I haven't been able to learn anything yet. Where does he go? It's a real typical chord progression. I don't remember it anymore. But yeah, I bought those. I got to go through all that stuff. It's just time is kind of like your worst nightmare. That's why I try to stay up as late as possible. Let's see. Have you seen? Oh, I've seen you use your Charvels in a lot of videos. Just wondering, any plans on getting a Jakey Lee or Guthrie Govan signature? No, I'm honestly. Do I have any signature guitars? Well, the Rabia is not mine. That's my wife's. Not really. I mean, I'm really not a fan of signature gear at all. I hate kind of like the name that comes along with it. Although I would totally own a signature Eddie Van Halen guitar. That's just because I'm a Eddie Van Halen nerd. But you know, and there's nothing wrong with it. I owned a Jackson Flying V that was a Randy Rhoads. It's just, you know, not what I go for, and because usually you pay a little bit more for the name, like the Guthrie Govan, which is, I'm sure, an incredible guitar. That's one of the guitars that I want to try while I'm at NAMM this year. Is one of Guthrie's. I'm super excited for them and Sir. I can't wait. I've wanted to play Sirs for years. I thought about buying one, but I just can't buy a guitar that I haven't played yet. Because I kind of did that with the Chapmans. We bought like 4 of them, and then 2 of them we ended up liking but not loving. So I'm gonna wait and try those out. Let's see. So you're probably not a Jakey Lee. Everyone always talks about how this one looks like a Jakey Lee, and it does. It looks a lot like his one, except it just has a maple board instead of the rosewood like his did back in the day. But yeah, so this one is definitely Jakey Lee inspired, which he's a phenomenally good player. Let's see. How long have I been playing guitar? From Mark. I've been playing guitar for about 9 years. Started when I was like, I think around 16. So I was in high school when I started playing guitar. So not like real long. I haven't made it to the decade club yet. So that'll probably be, what, next June-ish? I'll have been playing for like 10 years. So that'll be kind of exciting, you know, to actually be like, how long have you been playing? 10 years, bro. Hold up all your fingers. No, don't do that when people say that. Yeah, I've seen videos from who mentioned him? Oh, Mark mentioned him. Oh, yeah, he's, you know, I don't watch a lot of his stuff, but what I have seen is like crazy. He's such a good, you know, good guitar player, and he just chubby little fingers. You know, it's just he's super, super good. The guy I was talking about here, I'll type it in here, because his name is Damjan Perjanowski. I'll show you the first part of his name. It's something like that. I'm not real sure how to spell it, but if you put in his first name and then you start typing P, his name should come up. And you know, put in guitar after it, and he'll come up. He's crazy good. He's won a bunch of contests. You know, he's just one of those guys that I listen to, and I'm like, I wish I played guitar like that. Mark says, "Love your playing, bro. You have a gift." Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. You know, guitar is such a huge instrument, as in it's the most popular in the world. I would imagine so many people play it. So to have someone else who, you know, kind of digs what you do is really flattering and inspiring in itself. So you sight read? No, I'm actually really, really bad at reading sheet music. I had someone teach me how to do it, so I can read some like music if I have to, if that's what you mean. But I'm really slow at it because I never practice. I don't use it. I always like what Tommy Emmanuel said, and there's nothing wrong with it. I highly encourage people to learn how to read music. But he always just said he was too busy playing it to read it, and that's kind of always been. It's you know, back to the whole time issue that I keep rambling on about. It's just I don't have time to sit down, and it's like if I have time to practice, I want to practice, you know, writing or something like that. You know, coming up with riffs, you know, or working with other companies and coming with pedal demos and all that. So I really don't have time to sit down and really invest in learning how to read music. I'm sure it would be beneficial to me. I really haven't run into any situation where it not being able to read very well has hurt me at all. So, you know, we'll just keep our fingers crossed. I'm sure something will happen. I'll be like, dang, I wish I would have learned how to read music. But, you know, you just got to keep on waiting on the next, you know, opportunity. Let's see someone. Yo, Rob, what do you think about Jakey Lee? Are you a fan? This is from Tamboa 76. Yeah, it's funny. You must have just got here. We were just talking about Jakey Lee. I'm a huge Jakey Lee fan. You know, I know all the back at the moon. And all that. You know, those are some of my favorite Ozzy albums. He's just such a great player, and he has that really cool thumb thing. I can't do it. But I read in an article he kind of developed that because he lived in the same room as Warren DeMartini, and Warren would always kind of give him a hard time because Jake has kind of small hands, and Warren has, you know, big, like Steve I fingers, and he could do these big stretches, and Jake couldn't. So he figured out how to do that, and then he could end up doing bigger stretches than what Warren even could. But yeah, Jakey Lee. You know, as far as 80 players, there's so many great ones that have influenced me. Warren is one of the biggest of all, for sure. Let's see here. Just watch a vid. He's so amazing. He doesn't have chubby digits. Yeah, I told you, John's amazing, you know, and I don't even know if that's how you say his name completely. Look up his video. I think he won the Strings on Fire competition. It's that one. It's one of his competitions, or just like in his little search thing on his channel, type in first place. It's just such a crazy one to watch. Can you show your guitars? You can show. Oh, can you show your guitars? Greetings from Chile. Sure. I'll give you guys a rundown of the guitars. I got a bunch of them, and we're kind of thinning out the herd again. But you guys will be seeing some new ones probably the start of next year. So so there's this one. Go to unplug it, which is the 2006 Fender VG. So it's basically an American standard with the Roland pickup in it. So there's that one. There is this one, which is the American Tele Standard. Love this guitar. This is a great one. And then like this has like 10 gauge strings, not 10 to 46. So I tend to set some of them up with 10s, some of them with, you know, 9s, 9 to 42 or 9 to 46 is what I'm using now with Clear Tone. So that's the 2013 Tele Standard. Now this is the Chapman MO1 Rabia model. So it has the set neck on it. Really resonates, and I still stand by what I said when I first plugged it in. It's one of the best sounding guitars that we own. It's just, and it might be because I've never had a set neck guitar, so it just sounds amazing. It's really resonant too. You can always tell if you want to test a guitar when you strum it. Feel the headstock. Feel how strong the vibrations come through each string. Really feel some guitars. If you can't feel all the strings, watch out. It's not very, you know, it's not very resonant. So you have to kind of dodge that one a little bit. There's that one. This is the Hot Rod, which is one of my favorites right now. So how simple it is. I haven't decided which one. I got a tremolo from All Parts, sent it to me to see if I like it. So I got to install it in one of my Floyd Rose guitars. But so yeah, so this is the MO1 Hot Rod. Then we work our way over here. Here is my original Charvel. I wanted a Charvel since I was 16 when I started playing guitar. And this is the one I got the day after my birthday in 2011. So this is June. They're all names. If you guys want to know the names of my guitars, I can tell you them too. So yep, so this is June because I got it in June on the 23rd. And then here's our MO1, which if you guys are new, it looks like there's a few more people kind of tuning in. This is actually what we're giving away in our 10,000 subscriber giveaway. This is going to be the grand prize. Chapman ML1 Antique Sunburst. Hasn't been played, it's not in tune. But it's a great guitar. I sold the other one, and I'm so bummed out. FedEx broke the three-way selector, so I'm waiting to hear from them. They're going so stinking slow, but they have to like inspect it. I'm like, dude, FedEx, you guys broke this. The guitar was like perfect when I sent it out. You know, just send us like $50 and I'll send it to the guys and we'll be taken care of. So there's that one. And then I think the two coolest guitars that we have, sorry this is taking so long. This is a Model 88 Charvel. So it's from 1988, has a Model 2 neck from 88. So it's not completely original. The original neck was broken way before I ever got a hold of it. But I like these guitars because they've got some serious like mojo about them. I just wonder like where have these guitars been? Like, and then my favorite one, which I actually gave this one to my wife because I kind of started playing the 88 and liking it a little bit better, and she's been playing this one a lot. So I just told her that she could have this one. But it's a 1989, so the same year that I was born. And boy, I think it fits her better because it has a dinky body, so it's a little bit smaller of a guitar. And I'm a pretty big dude, 6'2". But yeah, and she likes the action really low on the guitar, which I can't stand. You can hear the strings. And I was gonna raise the action. She's like, oh, so I was like, why don't you just keep it? So this one's hers, an 89 Predator with a maple neck. That's really it for our guitars. We have a bunch of acoustics kind of kicking around, but that's about it. So let me check the comments over here. Wow, you guys got a lot of comments now. Let's see. Bro, can you show how you hold your pick? Sure. I hold my pick. I've talked about it in a few videos. I fan my fingers out a lot of times when I pick. Why don't I grab a guitar? Let's start with that. So when I pick, I hold my, the pick really close. You can see there's just barely any of it sticking out past my thumb. And why I do that is because when I would do a pinch harmonic, I just squeeze my pick. See how my thumb kind of flattens out? And that's how I'm able to get pinch harmonics really whenever I want them. So if I'm just playing. So like I said, I fan my fingers out and I hold my pick like that. So that's how I hold my pick. I really don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it. What do you think? Okay, this is from Dan Guitar 88. What do you think is the most important skill for making a living as a musician? I think the most important skill is have to be a nice person. No one wants to work with you if you're a jerk. So, if I email companies or they email me or something, and I'm just like, well, yeah, I could use your gear, but no one wants to work with someone like that. I guess if you're genuinely just a jerk, then you might have a hard time kind of doing, making a living as a musician. But, just be a nice person. Don't be fake. Just be honest. I'm a very straight up, honest person. I tend to give people the benefit of the doubt, that kind of a view on things. So I really think that's the most important skill. And then obviously playing, I love playing all the fast, ready stuff, but that's really not what's ever going to sell. Like, I haven't made a bunch of videos for Positive Grid, and you're not going to hear me shredding in any of those videos. I'm just coming up with riffs for all the different. So I think being able to play multiple styles being is obviously a benefit because you might have to play some solos, but definitely rhythm, riffs, nice person. Let's see here. Who are my top 5 favorite? I hate picking top 5s because it's so hard. I'll tell you the 5 that have had the most influence on me as a player. Eddie Van Halen, Paul Gilbert, Nuno Bettencourt, Richie Kotzen, Eric Johnson, maybe, I don't know. The list is so like crazy, but I'd say that's probably my 5 favorite. That's probably the most common comparison I get with any of my playing is it sounds like Eric Johnson. Obviously, if I do that, it really sounds like him. So that has to be probably my top 5. That Rabia would make a sweet grand prize. You won't be seeing that one as a grand prize, unfortunately. And then Damjan is sick, by the way. He posted the transcription for Shred This 2 on Facebook. Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's crazy. I would love to see what he's playing with some of that stuff. One of my favorite licks I learned from him. I should go by the lesson because I just watched it and figured it out by ear. But he definitely deserves me to pay him for it. Is on this little run. Sorry. I can't remember it. Something like that, which is similar to something I already did, but he added a little twist in there that I liked. Sebastian says, "Hey Rob, listen to whoa, how do you say that name? Senhueza Gonzalo. He's a great player from Chile. Recommend." I'll definitely check him out. I love if anybody has recommendations of players for me to check out, please leave them. You know, I absolutely love checking out new guitar players. I've been really listening to a lot of Andy Wood. If anybody doesn't listen to him, wow, just like crazy good. I got mine actually in drop D when I got them. Oh, really? I wonder why they were in drop D. When are you gonna get your wife on here, have a little jam session? As far as like getting her getting her on YouTube, it's something that she has never really been interested in. I've definitely tried, but I don't think she's ever been comfortable with it, and I don't want to like press the matter too much. I mean, if she doesn't want to be on YouTube, that's totally fine. A lot of people are really uncomfortable being on camera, or even like maybe doing like a live show like this, just kind of like talking. I've gotten used to it kind of now after the years. I mean, I think we're at like 530 videos, so I hope I'm used to it by now. If I'm not, then there's no hope for me. But you know, I've gotten so comfortable kind of being in front of a camera, talking to one, having other people record me, stuff like that. It's not a big deal anymore to me. But in the beginning, I remember I was very nervous. I'd really be anxious, or anxious. That's the word I want to use, about recording videos. I remember I'd get out of breath like talking because I was like nervous in front of the camera, as funny as that might sound. So I totally get it. You know, it's just something that not everybody is interested in doing. Tan Guitar 88 says, with so many guitars, how do you deal with new strings going bad on guitars that you forgot to play for a couple of weeks? I honestly just change the strings on them, to be honest. Or if it's a Floyd Rose, sometimes I'm like you know, it's not a good guitar player, and I just take them to Metronome and ask them to change them and pay them. But I just put strings on, man. Thankfully, what's kind of cool about Cleartone strings is they really just hook you up. Whenever I need strings, they'll just send me out a couple boxes of them. You can see like this is a new box they just sent me. That's all the way full. The other box is pretty much empty now. I restring my guitars pretty often because they get played so much. But that's just the way that, you know, I do it. For years, I just had to buy lots and lots of strings, to be honest. So that was how I kind of dealt with the string issues. You ever try carving guitars? You know what? Yeah, I have tried one. I forgot. I was just talking to my buddy Matt Harnett from over in the U.S. He's another kind of YouTube guy. Because he got a custom carvin. I was like, I never tried one, but I was like, oh wait, yes, I did. Someone actually bought a carvin, and it was really nice. It was really lightweight, lighter than what I'm used to on a guitar, and it was awesome. But it just didn't like click with me for some reason. I think because he had like, it was a white guitar. It looked, actually, now I think about it, it looked just like this one, but he had a rosewood fingerboard, and I'm a maple kind of guy. Although I have really gotten into the ebony boards. Those are kind of cool. But yeah, you know, I liked it. I think it's kind of cool how you can customize your guitar and it's not like an arm and a leg. So it's kind of a cool little side of it. CCH Craig. Hi, Robert. But what up, Craig? I'm trying to work on my sweep picking. Is there a DVD or instructional video that you would recommend for a beginner? I find sweeping extremely challenging. Sorry, I'm like hiccuping as I'm trying to read that. A DVD. Well, I can recommend not looking at any Yngwie DVDs. I can guarantee you that. Honestly, I didn't use any DVDs when I was learning how to sweep pick. I'm going to switch guitars again. Sorry, guys. I'm like, well, yeah, I'll just rotate. You can see a bunch of different guitars if you want to. Yeah, there was no like DVD that I ever got. That's part of the reason why, if you want, I'm not trying to be like, here's a shameless plug of my own videos. To incorporate one of those, but I have a video called Arpeggio Lesson #1, and a lot of people have said it's really helped. It has like 20,000 views or something, because I could not find anything that really helped me how to sweep pick. I watched so many videos and DVDs, and they left out one important key factor. So when you're sweeping, like that, my hands aren't warmed up. The trick is, so that's a 3-string arpeggio. It's down, 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 up. I do a pull off and another up, but then you go back on a down. So it's down, 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 up, down. And that was what kind of helped me. And I made that video just because I was like, oh, that's the missing key that, you know, no one ever was telling me. So that's kind of how I did it. Derek, hey, Derek's here. Tuning in a little late, but I'm here. Just saw this. Cool beans. What's the demo? Oh, what's the demo future hold? Quite a few stuff. I just got hooked up with Line 6. They're sending me some stuff. In January, that's when I'll be flying out to NAMM, and I'll be doing most of the demoing. I think for the Tone King, he asked me if I wanted to play guitar, if he needs to, like a guitar player in his videos. So I'll be doing all that stuff. And then I'm demoing the DC Overdrive. Seymour Duncan sending me their new tremolo pedal. I have a tremolo no to demo. I have these picks that Dragonheart Picks sent me. I have to demo these. And then I actually just kind of like cut a deal with Metronome, where I'm going to start making videos for them. So the owner wants to start with 5 videos. So I got those. So actually, I guess I have a lot more stuff to do than what I thought. So I should probably be working, but I think I'll just rather hang out with you guys. I hope she's not crazy. I know she has to be crazy good, though. Oh, I'm talking about my wife. Yeah, actually, she's really, really good. I walked in here earlier, and she was playing this. She plays a lot better than me, but... Nope, see, I can't play it. I don't think I remember anything past that part. Yeah, she's super, super good, but like I said, she's just not interested in the YouTube thing. Sebastian. All right, I think you started typing a different language. You think of Jack Gardner, you know some of the guitar licks? Oh, yeah, Jack's amazing. I'm really excited. I'm going to be jamming with him out in NAMM. And yeah, I know some of his licks. You know, just watching his stuff is really kind of beneficial. I think he had a lesson pack come out not too long ago. One of his licks that I saw him play was this, and I had to sit down and figure it out. It went... Was it? Yeah, another one that went like... What is it? How did it go? Can't remember. It was a big... I mean, he's obviously a crazy legato player. So, yeah, really, really amazing player. I love his rendition of it. It was like a pop song. I can't remember what it was, but it was super, super cool. So, me and him have chatted some. Like I said, I'm going to meet up with him, Tony Martinez, and then my buddy Leon Raguzzo and all that stuff out at NAMM, and just kind of hang out, maybe grab some grub. See, Danny Guitar 88 says, about demos, when you first started out, did you approach the companies or did they approach you? And that kind of got the ball rolling. Honestly, I approached them. You know, you have to in the beginning, they're really not going to seek you out, to be honest, because there's so many people seeking them out. So you have to kind of go out of your way and present them with something that is, I don't want to say worth their time, because we're worth everybody's time, but it's a business decision. If they're sending you gear and paying you to make these demos, they have to be confident that they're going to get a return into their investment. So a lot of times I present them with my YouTube stats, kind of like my, I don't know what you want to call it, my list of demos and companies I've worked with. So each time I work with a new company, it's kind of like double bonus for me, because obviously I get the gear or paid or whatever it is for the demo, but I also add kind of like more to my resume. That's what I was trying to think of earlier, a resume of stuff that I'm working with. So when I approach, I don't know, another company, say if I approached, I just approached line 6. So I told them like, hey, I'm doing stuff with Seymour Duncan right now, all these different companies, and they're like, oh, sure, yeah, we would love to work with you. So that's kind of, how it started in the beginning. Let's see. Sorry, I hit the wrong button and now went crazy. This live show is pretty cool. I could watch for hours. You should have lots more. Well, thanks, dude. Yeah, I plan on having more. This is honestly just a test. I didn't know how this worked, so I think we have it working. Let's see. I noticed from previous video comments that you mentioned Sam Colson. What do you think of his playing? Do you consider him an influence? Also, who is your favorite blues guitarist? Actually, me and Sam are really good friends. I was kind of bummed out. He just came through with Asia, and he had me like VIP tickets and all that stuff to go see him, and I couldn't go see him. Our schedules just didn't mesh. So I think he's going out to NAMM too. So I'll be hanging out with him real soon. I'm really excited just to kind of like jam with him. I wouldn't call him an influence. What's funny is we both have very similar styles, and I came across him honestly after I got my Charvel. Oh no, actually I was going to get my Charvel, and I just YouTubed people like Charvel, and one of his videos popped up, and I just commented on it. I was like, hey, I'm getting one of these Charvels like in the next day or two or whatever it was. What do you think about it? And he's told me how much he loved the guitar, and that's the thing. That's just kind of where our friendship started. Started talking more and more. Now it's just kind of like just friends and stuff like that, and chatting. I think he's a phenomenal player. I wish I had his vibrato so bad, and his picking. So, but yeah, like I said, I think it's just funny because we have very similar influences. So we do some like similar inspired licks, like the 2-string pentatonic. He does some of that stuff, but still very different players at the same time. So I wouldn't call him an influence, but he's definitely very inspiring. And favorite blues guitar player. I'm going to sound really cliche and say Stevie Ray Vaughan. But him and like Joe Bonamassa. Joe Bonamassa is kind of like that new age. Which that's not Joe Bonamassa's song, but he covers it. Just got paid in. Plenty of those Joe Bonamassa licks have made it into my repertoire. He does some really cool like bendy stuff that you don't normally see people kind of mimicking. I don't want to say mimic, but... So yeah, that's my favorite blues player. Robert, you need an assistant at NAMM. Orange Kelly is my old stomping grounds. I know all the hot spots. Dude, you should go. The trick to going to NAMM is you have to get a badge with someone. So this year the Tone King hooked me up with a badge to kind of go out there. Like I said, I'm going to play guitar for him on some stuff. But yeah, if you can get one, or I think you can register or something like that. I'm not sure how expensive it is though, but it's definitely once you get your room and all that stuff, it can get a little bit pricey, but I think it's really worth it. Just the experience. I have a cousin out there that I'm actually really excited to see, who was when his department got shut down because record sales don't sell anymore, but he was over the scouting part of Universal Records. So he was like the president of the scouting section. So it's always really cool. He used to send us like boxes of CDs that were like the cases got damaged. So he'd just like send us boxes of CDs. That was always really cool. Let's see. Mark, so you into any 70s bands like Rush and Boston? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm totally into 70s bands. You know, obviously like Led Zeppelin, Boston, Foghat, Foreigner, Gold Earring, any of them. You name them. I mean, I know. How'd it go? I butchered that last part. But yeah, I love 70s bands. Sean, and he said, this is a really cool question. I've been meaning to ask, out of the pedals you have made, oh, sorry, comments are coming in, made demo videos for, has any particular one more really stuck with it, and stuck with you or impressed you as much as you use it pretty much all the time? Yeah, you know, honestly, I don't use many of the pedals all the time just because I'm lazy. I just kind of plug into the amp and play. But honestly, the one that impressed me the most is all the way over here. I'm sure you guys can see how messy the room is. This one, the Plexitone from Carl Martin, really impressed me. And I still love the sound of it. Now, the issue with this one is some amps it sounds really good in, and some amps it sounds, you know, still good in it, but just different. It gets a little bit trebly is all. But, you know, it's a really, really good one. Sorry, more people are commenting. Really good pedal. Now, the DC drive is a little bit thicker sounding than the Plexitone, a little bit more even across the board of amps. So if you really want that kind of that Plexi sound that cleans up really well too on your guitar, I would recommend that DC drive. And then just kind of, oh, here's the orange amp. It got kind of buried. But I'm excited. I think Line 6 is sending one of their Amplify amps. So that'd be kind of cool to check that out. Derek says, Sam is awesome. Yeah, he is. He's a really cool guy. Any experience with DiMarzio tone? Any experience with DiMarzio tones on pickups? Too much for 80s pop metal Lynch. You think, all right. Yeah, honestly, that's what's in my white Charvel is a tone zone. I've never changed them, even though I've kind of switched and turned into a Duncan guy. That's just a DiMarzio tone zone in the bridge and an evolution in the neck. So I still really like that. Richardson Guitar says Bonamassa is one of my favorite guitar players too. Guy is amazing. Yeah, he is. He's crazy good. He shouldn't be allowed to be that good. Tamper76 says, are you a Strifer fan by any chance? Yes, of course I am. Michael Sweet and Oz Fox are great players. Oh, fantastic players. And you know, Striper, I actually like Guardian. Guardian was a band that I never hear anybody know. So if anybody here has listened to Guardian, you're awesome. Let's see, Mike, I'm sorry, Kilt Noobs says, I would love to go, but badges are not public. I have plenty of places to stay where I grew up at. Yeah, sorry, yeah, I'm not real sure how the badge system works, to be honest. I just kind of got hooked up with it and stuff like that, and that was just kind of it. So I'm not sure how, because I mean, what NAMM is it's a trade show. I think guitar players, there's a fly, treat it as let's hang out and, you know, all play guitar for like 3 days straight. But it's really a trade show. It's meant for businesses to go and, you know, find new gear. So I think it's kind of turned into a big guitar event for guitar players, but that's kind of it. Let's see. Mark says, Robert, do you play keyboards or want to learn? I have literally always wanted to learn how to play piano or keyboards, either one. And I don't know. I've always wanted to dedicate all of my time to this single instrument. So maybe at some point I'll learn, but I always just kind of like that. Well, if I had time to practice piano, I should be practicing guitar. So that was kind of why I went that route with it. Okay. I think I finally caught up on questions. So if anybody else has any, I think I'm caught up enough to where I can answer them as you guys go if you want. Let's see here. I'm just checking because I had a bunch of people get a hold of me on Facebook. I'm turned in. Seems like good audio and video so far. That's from my buddy David. David, are you still on here, man? And we will find out. Derek, I don't know if you're still here or not. Tried to go last year. Oh, that's a bummer that you couldn't get in, man. So yeah. Yeah, if anybody has any other questions about demoing, working with companies, any of that stuff, hit me up. I'll answer them all. So I'll just annoy you guys with some guitar playing while the comments come in. I see that they're starting to load. My Maria. Oh crap, now I'm behind again. Thoughts on ear training? Yeah, ear training is extremely important. I guess I should have mentioned that earlier when someone asked me what I think the most important thing is. You've got to have a good ear. I love tabs, and I always provide tabs in my videos, but gotta use your ear. A lot of times when I'm teaching, if someone comes in with the new whoever song, I mean, it could be a metal band, it could be Taylor Swift, it could be Miley Cyrus, and the song came out today, they want to learn the song. It doesn't, the tabs aren't out for this song yet, so guess who has to figure the song out? My ears. And I've gotten actually to where now, after doing this for so long, I can figure out stuff usually quicker as far as modern songs go than what the pages what you can Google it, look up the tabs, click on it, load it. The chord progressions are really predictable in most pop music, so you'll tend to teach a lot more pop songs and stuff like that than you do anything else. Robert, check out Randy Jackson of Zebra. Oh man, I haven't heard anybody mention Zebra in such a long time. I remember I was listening to Dee Snider's House of Hair the other night, and they played a Zebra song, and I was like super pumped up. And Rick Emmett from Triumph. Oh yeah. Do you know what these are? Y dot. No. I guess I don't know what that is. Oh, you comment again later. Okay, let me see. I think you might have mistyped it. I've heard of Guardians of God band. I met their drummer a few years ago. I've never heard of them. Huh. Favorite Kiss guitar player? Bruce Kulick. Easy. Oops, made them too big. Boobs. Okay, these are better. Derek, you were looking at tube amps again. Yeah, I am. That's a big thing about now as I'm looking at the SIRs. I was just sent the guys at SIR an email because I'll be out there and I want to try some of their guitars, but I really want to try the Badger amps. And it's the Badger and the Corso. Not really looking into like the custom audio kind of side of things, but I really do want to get back into tube amps because digital is really nice, and I'm getting the axe effects and all that stuff, but digital always sounds good, and that might sound like, oh well, that's perfect, but it's not, because it masks. I've noticed my playing has gotten a little bit sloppier, not sloppier, just a tube amp sounds very foreign to me. And we will play the tube amps at Metro. I'm like, I don't like that, and I'll go back over to the Mustang, and I like it. And I really think I need to kind of distance myself away from so much digital to kind of get back to the raw meat and potato sound of the tubes. Nothing wrong with digital amps at all. Like, I love this Mustang. So yeah, I'm definitely kind of back in the market for a tube amp. What is the best amp sim that you have ever used? I haven't used many of them, to be honest. I think I've only really used like the GarageBand one and Logic, and Oh, actually, you know what? No, I've used Pod Farm. That one's really good. I think Positive Grid actually, the bias is a little bit better than those. I've been able to get tones that I liked right away out of them. Who's messaging me? Yeah, I got tones that I liked out of them right away without having to fight with it too much. The GarageBand one, to me, was absolutely terrible. My buddy uses Line 6 Pod Farm, and he always gets killer tones out of that. When you go to NAMM, check out the China guitars. They make some of the most beautiful guitars I've seen. You know, I just saw they were doing a big giveaway. So I think that if you shared the post or something, you were entered into it. So maybe you'll check out their Facebook page, man. What's your recording setup? Really, really simple, which is changing. But why don't I take you guys on a journey through a messy, messy room. Ugh. So this is the recording setup. Usually I turn the fan on way too loud. But it'll kind of come from the amp. You can see some empty Starbucks. From the amp, I either mic it with a 57, and then that runs out into my Presonus audio box, which is changing to the Focusrite TI4. And the reason is, if you look at this, the issue is with Positive Grid stuff, as I can't plug right into this. I can, but my audio clips right away without turning it way down low, which affects the input, which then affects the output that I'm recording in. So I'm replacing this one. I'm probably going to sell this thing. It works great. There's nothing wrong with it. I just need something that I can plug into. Now the Focusrite, there's a little switch you can flip from instrument to mic, and it changes the signal, but that's it. I run this, the cables going into my speaker monitors, which those are changing too soon, and then it just goes into the computer via USB. And that's pretty much my recording setup. So very kind of amateur, I guess, and low budget. But how'd you guys get so far away? So that's how I record stuff. What was your favorite concert you've been to? My favorite concert has to be, without a doubt, Van Halen 2007. I wish it would have had Michael Anthony on bass other than Wolfgang, which Wolfgang did a great job, but it happened to actually be David Lee Roth's birthday when we saw them at Q Arena in Cleveland, and Eddie came out and played Happy Birthday on his guitar for David. It was just crazy. I remember like it was yesterday going to that concert, and I remember buying the the Van Halen shirt that was $55 or something, just totally stupid, but had to have it because it was Van Halen. The shirt is it's not, it's in the other closet. But yeah, favorite concert for sure. Most kind of what's the word I want to say? I don't know. Iconic concert, I guess, was when I got to see Extreme, because we were so close. I was literally, Nuno walked over to the stage and high-fived my friend who was standing right beside me, missed my hand, high-fived Nuno. I mean, high-fived my friend Jacob. But he also later got licked by a drunk lady. So there's a twist on the story I bet you weren't expecting. Okay, yep. So I'm caught up on the questions again. Don't make me ignore you. Don't make me ignore you guys. Yeah, don't make me do that either. Don't make me annoy you guys with more guitar playing. Because, oh, wait, I'm reaching for the guitar. It's going to happen. Oh, okay. It's happening. So how did you guys like I don't know if you saw the new video, kind of the request video, that way you guys can put in what you're wanting to see, if it's particular lessons or something like that. That way I know exactly what you guys are wanting. And I'm trying to see how long this chat thing has been going on for. I don't know. A while though. Dan Guitar 88 says, what other styles are you into? Lots of stuff. I love jazz, blues, country, funk, metal, like real like heavy stuff. Like I figure, I mean, I consider like Conquering Dystopia really heavy. You know, that's probably about as heavy as I listen to nowadays. But them or I don't know. I mean, I listen to like Pantera still and all that stuff. So pretty much any of it. Just has to have good music. It doesn't even have to be guitar. It has to have great musicianship. That's what I like to hear. I don't want to hear someone play, you know, 2 chords and then repeat the same lyric line over and over again like a Justin Bieber song. I want to hear, you know, Queen. I want Freddie Mercury lyrics, and then I want Brian May guitar and all that stuff. So as long as it has good, I mean, guitar obviously preferred, but let's see. Tambor76 says, do you set up your own guitars? I've tried to set up mine myself, but they still play. No, I don't. Nope, I don't. I'm lazy. I really don't know anything about guitars, to be honest. I always take my guitar. There's the tech at the store I teach at, and I'm like, okay, how do I like this guitar? And he just kind of fiddles with it, and he hands it back to me, and I'm like, I want the strings higher, and I hand it back to him, and like, I want them higher, and I want them lower, and then it usually ends up like almost identical to where the guitar was at. He's like, you just wasted all that time. If you knew Pat, Pat's awesome. So that's something I don't know if anybody's interested in that I've been really practicing is my picking a lot. Just doing real simple stuff like look, stuff like that. Just kind of going back to old exercise I used to practice a lot. Trying to work on moving my hand less. So it's a long, kind of like annoying process, but it has to happen. What other 2 seconds? No, I do not. Going on 1 hour and 36 minutes. Really? I didn't even know that. Cool. Well, I'll probably wrap up pretty soon then, because I'm sure you guys are tired of hearing me talk. But that's crazy. Now I know how like other people, why they do like 2-hour hangouts and not even realize it. So yeah, I guess any final questions, then we'll kind of wrap it up here. Because I didn't even realize it's almost 1 a.m. I gotta get to work. Gotta get some vids done for Positive Grid. But yeah, I'll give it like we'll end at 1, so it's like 4 minutes away. So if anybody has any final questions, let me know. But other than that, we'll wrap up here in just a minute. So, and I thank you for everybody who tuned in. There's definitely going to be more of these, and they're going to be much more planned out. Everybody who's here, actually, if you could, comment what time it is where you're at. So, like, it's 1 a.m. here in Ohio, so I'm in Eastern time. So if you guys could do that, just so I can kind of get a general idea of what time it is where you guys are all at right now. Did I see Troy Grady? Oh yeah, Troy's amazing, isn't he? He's such a good guitar player. I did watch that. I was actually in his live show when he did that. Yeah. Well, in his cracking the code thing, he mentioned something that I need to practice more, but the whole Steve I 7s. Yeah, obviously I'm not good at it, but okay. So what, are a lot of you guys on the East Coast? 6:57 a.m. in Italy. That's crazy. Do you know Rocco? I don't know how to say his last name. Rocco? I'll just go with that. 11:57 here in Oklahoma. My last question: Bon Scott or Brian Johnson? Don't make me answer that. A lot of people are gonna hate me. But you know what? I'll be honest. Brian Johnson. And the only reason, because I know Bon Scott is like a total legend. Well, Brian's a legend too, but Brian, because the first AC/DC song I ever heard was Back in Black. and I had never heard of AC/DC. And I remember I heard it, and I was just listening to it, and I was loving the song. And my dad's like, "You've never heard AC/DC?" And we went out that day and bought Back in Black. But what stood out to me the most is that song had 2 guitar solos. So I just remember listening to the. See if I remember it. That whole shebang. Let's see. So yeah, so Brian Johnson for me, guys. All right. Well, it is one. Well, I guess it's 12:59. So I said 1 o'clock. So I will wait. You know, in the video with this lick, summon all my power. I'm gonna play it wrong. I guarantee it. Alrighty, guys, it's 1 o'clock. Thank you so much for everybody who tuned in. One more time, real quick, in case someone was here that didn't see it whenever I announced it. But the prizes for the 10,000 subscriber giveaway, which is going to start in November. I don't know the exact date. Lots of planning and promo stuff to kind of get in line with all the companies. But the prizes are going to be some pedals from Seymour Duncan. If you guys want to know the exact pedals, it's kind of at the very beginning of the video. The 2 kind of like big grand prizes. I'm sorry. So we have the pedals, and then Positive Grid is actually giving away promo codes to their apps and their plugins for all 7 days. So everybody gets, you know, one of those. What else? Then Metronome gave me this to give away, which is the orange microturner, which actually sounds really good for a little amp. And let's see, Cleartone is sending me a whole bunch of strings and a shirt for you guys. So that's cool. I really tried to get a bunch of the companies that I really like to work with involved. And then what else? Oh, wait, the grand prize. So we're giving away an iPad. I don't have it here yet. We actually haven't bought it yet. We're going to go get it tomorrow probably. That's probably going to be day 6. So it's going to be a 7-day giveaway. That's day 6 is the iPad. And then day 7 is this. A Chapman MO1. I was just talking to Chappers about it, and all that stuff. So yeah, so this is the grand prize. So you guys, and I'm not actually announcing any of this stuff for quite a while. So I'm sure most people won't watch this whole video on YouTube. But that is it, guys. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna try not to break that guitar, and I'm gonna get to work. And I'm going to go probably end up slacking, eating cereal, and playing more guitar. So bye, everybody. Thank you again for tuning in.